back. Now I know I haven't been doing a tutorial in a really long time, so I thought I would do one on the look I'm wearing today. It's honestly one of my favourite looks. You will have seen it in previous videos. I've been wearing it a lot, and I've had a few comments also on trying to do something similar, so I thought I would replicate it. It's also really easy for any beginners because there's no like winged eyeliner, or any eyeliner actually, but yet you can adapt this to how far you want to go. It would look amazing with a really dramatic winged eyeliner and a really smoked out lower lash line, but I thought I would keep it a little bit more daytime appropriate today. I've also had a couple of comments on using like the Morphe 350 and the Kylie Jenner lip kit, so I thought I'd combine as many requests as possible and do this video. So if you're interested in knowing how I got this look, then just keep watching. Okay, so I'm going to start by moisturising my face. For those of you who have watched my recent February favourites, you will know that I have been loving this moisturiser by Benefit. About that much. I'm just going to blend that in with my fingers and pop that straight on my cheeks. I like to concentrate this right in the middle of my face because I feel like that's where I kind of need the most moisture, and then put it on my forehead, and then whatever's left I just kind of bring out towards the edges. So today I'm going to be using the Morphe 350 palette. If you have been watching me for a while, you will know that I really like this palette. This is what it looks like if you aren't familiar with it. And I'm going to do kind of like a spotlight eyes. I've been using this a ton in my videos. It's just so easy. So I'm going to jump straight into it, and I'm going to be using this big fluffy brush from Sigma. MAC do a really similar one. You just kind of want one which is really like big and fluffy so that it's not going to pack on too much product. And I'm going to go in with a mixture of this colour here and this colour up here. I'm going to knock off the excess. I'm just going to really target this on my outer corner and then bring it into the crease of my eye in backwards and forwards motions. And then as I've got less product on my eyes, going up in little circular motions right up to the brow bone. I like to start off slowly and then add more and more product. You're going to find this way easier when it comes to blending stuff out. It's not going to take near as much time as if you kind of went in straight away with loads of product, and you'll also find that the finished result is so much smoother as well. Again, as I'm sure you all know, transition shade is all about kind of making the darker colours blend seamlessly into your look. You're not necessarily going to see this, but it's really going to help in terms of how your makeup looks at the end of it. Okay, so taking a smaller brush, this is the Sigma E25, I'm going to be using this shade right here. It's kind of like a red toned brown, very warm in tone. Just going to circle my brush, tap off the excess, and then apply this to the outer corner of my eye. So you're going to keep this relatively low, and I like to pat as opposed to just swiping. You're going to find that has way more control before you kind of bring it up to your crease. So this is where I'm laying down most of the colour below the crease, and then as I have less product on, I'm going to be blending up and into the crease itself. I haven't actually updated you guys about why I'm getting ready. We're actually going to the venue where we're having our wedding next summer, and I am so excited actually. It'll be nice to kind of see the venue dressed up and have a look at different companies who work really closely with the venue that we're going to. Speaking of all things wedding, I actually woke up yesterday, had a look at my ring, and I've lost a diamond, so I'm really upset about it, and I don't really know where it's gone because I feel like I would have known that if I'd lost it yesterday, I'd have known that I was missing a diamond, and I just have no idea. But I've checked like the bed and the floor. I've literally been on my hands and knees looking at the carpet upstairs and downstairs, and it's really nowhere to be seen, so I don't know what's happened to it, but I've emailed them and I'm hoping that I will get a reply at some point early next week to get it mended. I'm sure it will be under warranty or something. It's just one of those things that's really annoying. If you feel like you've packed on the colour enough, I'm just going to go back in with my original brush that I went through and add a little bit more of one of the transition colours, and then just blend the whole thing together, so again there are no harsh lines. So I'm going to be using a smaller brush. I would usually use a pencil brush, however I can't seem to find mine. So this is the MAC 221. It's kind of like the thinner version of the 217, so I feel like it's going to be a lot more precise. I'm going to go straight back in with this colour here, the colour which I used on my outer corner, and then going into the corner of my eye and bringing it up so it meets the crease. You're going to want to not come too far in either with the inner corner or the outer corner, and leave the centre of the eye blank. This is going to really make the spotlight pop. So going back in with the E25, I'm going to grab these two darker colours here and kind of mix them together to get my desired shade, and start again on the outer corner and then go back in with the inner corner and make sure everything's blended out. So you're going to be wanting to pat right next to your lash line and underneath your crease, and then as you have less product you're going to be wanting to blend slowly up and into the crease itself. Going in with the same colour on the smaller brush, we can start doing the inner corner. I'm actually going to be taking a clean 217. I always just keep one clean in my collection just in case there's anything that needs to be blended further. So I'm just going to run this in my crease because I don't like how harsh it's looking. Now I've got the colour to the right design that I kind of want. I'm going to take a synthetic brush. This is the MAC 239 and a bit of Fix Plus. Just once, because you don't want to get the bristles too wet, you just want to get it damp enough that it's going to pick up the product and lay it down really nicely. So I'm going to be taking this shade here from the Morphe 350. It's this gorgeous. It's very glittery. It looks almost like a pink glitter, but when it's laid down on the eyes it kind of turns to more of like a taupey silver. It's really pretty. So I'm just going to be laying that down with my brush. And I'm going to start putting this in the centre of the lid, to which I've left bare with the darker colours. So I'm going to pat it rather than swipe. So I'm going to be taking the two darker shades again, blending them just to make sure that everything blends seamlessly. Okay, so with the lid done, I'm just going to highlight, and I'm going to use a mixture of these two colours here, just with any clean brush. This is a MAC 239, but it's really not necessary. And I'm just going to put this just below my brow bone and kind of sweep it down a little bit to make it sure that everything blends. I'm going to finish it off with a little bit of mascara. I'm actually trying out the mascara from Benefit. It's their Real. I just haven't really got on the bandwagon of this one, but I actually really like it. It's very hard to get off. I'm going to leave the eyes for a minute and move on to my face. You guys know that I've been loving the Natural Radiance Prep and Prime primer from MAC in the yellow shade. Again, the same technique as I use with my moisturiser. I'm going to really concentrate this on the centre of my face, so my T-zone, a little bit on my chin, and then whatever's left I move to the kind of edges. After I've added the primer, I'm also going to add a little bit of lip balm. So my foundation is of course the new one from YSL. I have been loving this so much recently, it's brilliant. So I'm going to use 2 pumps just because I've got a little bit of a friend over here and some blemishes, and I'm going to use this with a Real Techniques buffing brush, which looks like this. I actually start by just putting 3 dots on my face, so I do each cheek and my forehead, and then I'm going to be taking the buffing brush and I'm just going to first pat it into my face and then swipe down. I kind of like how this foundation is very dewy, but my skin has been quite problematic and it can be a little bit dry, even though that I've got some oily breakouts over here. So I don't really want to disrupt too much of my dry skin, so by patting down you're going to kind of follow the natural follicles of your hair and you're not going to disturb too much. Done, I'm going to go back in and target my eyebrows. So I'm going to start by spooling through my eyebrow. I'm going to be grabbing this MAC palette, which I made myself. This is always in my makeup bag and it's kind of like my go-to ones, which I use in addition to any palettes. So if you guys want to know what they are, then just let me know. But I'm actually going to be taking this shade right here and mixing it with a little bit of this one up here. I'm just going to start underneath my brows like this and then just fill them in. And then just use a spoolie to make sure that the powder has been dispersed evenly. So now I'm going to sort out these under eye bags, and the first thing I do is colour correct using this from MAC. It's their Prep and Prime in Radiant Rose. I'm just going to be popping this, kind of keeping it relatively tight. My Real Techniques Stamp Beauty Sponge, and then I'm just going to pat this in. The reason why I like to use the pink one as opposed to the yellow toned one is that pink is going to really help colour correct as well as highlight, whereas sometimes when I use like a yellow toned colour corrector it can make my under eye look a little bit grey, and we definitely don't want it to look grey, we want it to look bright and awake. So I'm going to finish off with a little bit of concealer just to take away a little bit of that pinkness. This one is from Aucoin. I'm trying it out. I had it about a year ago. I tried it once or twice and really didn't like it, so I'm going to try it again. And I've been using it for the last couple of days, and I feel with a beauty blender it's a lot better. Now I have a little bit of a wonky nose, so I'm just going to try and even that out with a bit of my contour stick. And how I do it is just do the ends. So with all those cream products now on my face, I'm going to really want to make sure that this is set and it's set well so that it doesn't crease or move throughout the day. I'm going to be using the Anastasia contour kit, but there's so many on the market. Kat Von D do an amazing one. I'm going to be using just any clean brush. This one is by Real Techniques, it's their multitask brush. And I'm going to be using a mixture of the pink and the yellow. And I'm just going to make sure that I've got a lot on my brush. Just going to go backwards and forwards like this in a dabbing motion just to set. And then for the rest of my face, I'm just going to be using a normal like setting powder. This is MAC Mineralized Skin Finish Natural in the shade Medium. Once that's ready to set, you're now able to kind of contour and add colour to the face. So I'm not really going to go in for anything too dramatic. I'm kind of going to just use a little bit of this. The same brush because I kind of want more of a bronzer as opposed to a contour today. Now to do this, I always like to start at the top of my ear and kind of bring it down halfway. So I'm going to start and put most of the colour back here. And then as I move closer towards my mouth, I'm going to start blending. So for blusher, I'm using this by NARS. I'm really sorry that you're unable to get this anymore, but it was brilliant and it has kind of cheek products in here. They do tend to bring them out quite regularly and it's normally around Christmas time, so if you're interested, definitely have a look. I think I picked mine up from Space & K. I'm going to be using this shade right here. It's a gorgeous kind of plummy toned with a little bit of shimmer. It's very similar to Sin if you have that, or if you're wanting something from the permanent collection. I'm just going to be taking this and I'm going to go backwards and forwards in little circular motions just to put the colour on. Can you see the difference? Again on the other side, kind of going in at an angle just above where I bronzed. I'm going to highlight now and I'm going to be using this from Kali Bible. It was in my February favourites and just a Morphe brush. Jaclyn Hill introduced me to this and I honestly have never looked back. I'm going to be taking this highlight shade right here and this eyeshadow shade, just kind of mixing the two together and kind of going in little circular motions. The final thing that I'm going to do with my eyes before going on to my lips is just smoke out a little bit on my lower lash line. I just think that looks a little bit more flattering and I feel like I look a bit odd if I just did the top and kind of left the bottom a bit bare. So I'm going to use, again, a combination of these and then I'm just going to kind of start really close to my lash line on the outer corner and then slowly bring that in to about halfway. I'm going to just be taking a random brush and I'm just going to put that directly underneath it just to kind of smoke it out slightly. Then I'm going to add a little bit more of mascara. Finish off this look by doing my lips. Now I'm going to pat off the lip balm which I used earlier. So I'm going to be using a lip kit today. This one is the Kylie lip kit in Candy K with the lip liner first. And then going in with the lip kit itself. And this is the finished look, so I really hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up and remember to subscribe, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye!